Hello everyone, this is direct from Tel Aviv when 70, there's a 70 uh, airlines or how do you call it, planes are leaving the country after attending the amazing ceremony for the death of the funeral of Shimon Peres, late President Peres. I want a cocktail on the amazing conversation that Barack Obama, President Obama, and President Clinton was talking. Shimon Peres was buried today as a global leader, a game changer, a visionary peace advocate, and loved by everyone. He was the demonstration of the possibility that Israel is. I had the privilege and honor to work with him and to be his personal and business and transformational coach during the years 1990 and until 2007 very closely. And I want to point out a couple of things that are, I think, important as his legacy. I think Shimon was willing, when I met him as the head of the Labour Party opposition back in the 90s, when he was really hated and disrespected and disliked and was a dead horse in Israeli politician, he was willing to undergo major conversation that transformed it into a statement and a global leader and invented himself. You know, some people, I think, including Obama and maybe Clinton, mentioned his ability to reboot, restart, and recreate. His ability was a function of hard training and coaching he underwent in order to understand who he's going to be. So I think that it's important that his legacy doesn't stay. And here there was this great guy who was one of a kind, and the legacy, and and there's no more other ones available. And to understand that behind the scene there's ordinary man that was trained to bring forth his outstanding commitment, an ordinary man with outstanding vision and commitment, and that's available to many of the leaders and the country heads of states and many of us out there today. There's three transformation that I think we can pinpoint about the work we did successfully with Shimon Peres. The first one, that he was willing to understand back at the end of the century that it's not any longer right wing, left wing phenomenon. The world is moving forward. You're either moving forward or backward. And he realized, as we introduced the methodology of transformation, that the way you generate the future is you don't generate the future of the Jewish nation from its past. You honor the past, you respect the past, you kind of even do Shabbat for the past, but it's not what you live into. He realized that we live into a future. And that kind of future is the future that need to be demonstrated, created, and brought, brought forth by leaders. So he was willing to go ahead and generate a possible future. Now, most leaders or managers deal with what's so. Transformation leader deals with what's so and what's possible. He dedicated his life to what's possible, and the New Middle East project came as a result of it, because as we see it now, some 20 years later, there is a new Middle East, except it's not the Middle East we're attempting to generate when we did the New Middle East conference back in 1993, and the famous book that I had the privilege of taking part of. We knew back then that we either going to have the Iraq and Syria and the situation that in front of us now in some way, shape, or form, or extreme. We didn't know how extreme it will be, as the Islamic terror is now right on our doorsteps. However, we knew that there needed transformation. He was willing to create a conversation for possibility for the new Middle East, a Middle East that is home, safe, first choice, suitable to the world we're living today. And he did it by willing to depart from the right left wing when I met him to the forward thinking, backward thinking, future thinking, and not past based thinking. That's one element. The second one, he was willing to transform from politician to a statement. It's a different context. In order to be a statement, you need to see the world, you need to be global, you need to see the whole picture, you need to be widely, you need to leave the paradigm of the past in the past and be generating new paradigms and new possibilities and new ideas and game changing ideas. So he was willing to leave the old paradigm he was residing until we met till 1990 and to embark upon what we just saw so vividly, lovingly expressed around all over the media today when his body one, was put to rest, but his vision just got ignited because the new Middle East is not a dream, it's a vision. And it is a, now, can we make the Middle East a possible, like Shimon Peres created, and not the one we have? For that, we need to have some state people and state leaders, and 80 of them came over today to pay tribute to the thing. This third transformation, I think that we can point to in our work, is that he realized and that you got to include everyone. It's a not me world; it's a we world. The world belongs to collaborative culture. 80 leaders of states came today to pay tribute. It was we effect. It was us together. Shimon Peres is leaving us a legacy of what can be done by a single man, but with many collaborators. He did not do any of the work he did vis-a-vis my point alone. There's many people, such as myself and my partner Shmuel Merchav and others who work with him closely. He was smart enough, open enough, humble enough, and curious enough to collect and listen to people's genius around him and people's thoughts around him and to translate it. But it was a group work. So the future of the legacy of Shimon Peres is to be followed by all the people who paid tribute and experienced love. Now, on a personal note, he really, when I met him, it wasn't the future that was predicted at the time is not what happened today in Mount Herzl. This is a discontinuous outcome. It was in his wildest dreams. The man who was so lonely did not believe, even when we told him that he will be loved. The amount of love, the amount of respect, the fact that President Obama and all those leaders came over to Israel to pay tribute to him is just an acknowledgement for what possible to when people step into the zone and willing to take on larger games. It taught me, and I never forgot, that you are as big as the issue or the things you get involved with. Each one of us out there can examine today what is the magnitude of the work you engage in, enlarge it, and find a way like he did so you can make an impact for future generations. Most of my notes and how we did it, it's in Hebrew. However, I think that the case study of how you take and make such statement alive and exist, and how to take any one of the leaders today and allow them to transform from a politician to a global leader is available. His legacy will be well expressed if we don't stop today, but we start. While we put him in the ground, let's make his spirit move on. Let's make peace in the Middle East a global work that works for everyone, and his legacy be the conversation we carry forward as we move forward into the new year. I want to wish you, from the depth of my heart and my soul, all my friends, the best regards. We have some major challenges ahead of us. I think we can move powerful to a global game and carry the voice that was lit or ignited in the Mount Herzl today and carry your voice to the world. Carry your voice of peace, carry your voice of greatness, and above all, carry the voice of love. I love you, I thank you, and I'll see you soon.